Honorable speakers on the dais, Mr. Prabhu, Mr. Tamani, Mr. Krishnan, Alfred, Gaurav Jain, Clifton, Anthony Ji. Very good evening to all of you.
Good evening.
I think you all have heard about the good things of the capital market. So I think Alfred must be and Conrad all must be very excited because Alfred has just got his company listed. But in fact, if you see the capital market and just see the logo, it's 140. On 9 July we have completed 148th year. And around 140 years back, Bombay Stock Exchange was established. Normally, whenever I go for giving the presentation or speaking on BSE, what we say that BSE is the oldest stock exchange in Asia, and perhaps it's older than the oldest political party of the country. If you see Indian National Congress, it was established in 1885, and we were established in 1875. So we are 10 years older than the oldest political party of this country. In this 140 years, we have got only 5,600 companies listed on Bombay Stock Exchange, and out of that, only 3,000 companies are actively traded. So I don't think that a country where we have got almost 50 million of SME and large companies, 5,600 is a good number. But this 5,600 company has created a market capitalization of $1.2 trillion. So it's a huge market capitalization. You have heard few examples how the company have created wealth in all these years and how they have made their all stakeholders richer. But what has happened we have seen Reliance getting created, Tata getting created, Ambani or Reliance or Birla getting created. But in last 10 years, we have not seen large companies, especially in the manufacturing sector, getting created. We are seeing the phenomena of e-governance companies which are not in listed space, but they are getting a huge market capitalization. But in case of manufacturing sector, in last 15 years, we have not seen good growth. And because of this, what has happened, many of the companies which got listed in last 7-8 years, they have not created wealth for their stakeholders. In fact, between 2009 to 2013, all the companies which got listed on the stock exchange, 80% of those companies have eroded wealth of the investors. And because of that reason, SEBI have come very hardly on these rules and regulations, and they have toughened the rules and regulations. It becomes very difficult for the smaller or medium companies to get listed on the main board of the stock exchange. In 2010, Government of India has created a task force, and the task force recommended that there should be a separate stock exchange for the SME companies so that they can get listed fastly in a very cost-effective manner. And because of that, Security Exchange Board of India has framed the rules, guidelines, and come out with a circular on 18th May 2010. During my presentation, I will talk about what are the guidelines, what are the situations, how BSE SME platform is growing. But before that, let me tell you one thing. As the head of the SME platform, I had also become like an entrepreneur. Because when we have launched this SME platform, no one in India was saying that this SME platform will succeed. Excuse me, boss. Just wait. Otherwise, I will keep on getting it. So it was very difficult to launch SME platform because what had happened, first time SEBI has given a lot of responsibility on the merchant bankers. Normally what happens, the merchant bankers are active in the primary market, they have nothing to do with the secondary market. Secondary market means where the stocks are being traded. First time, because of these guidelines, merchant bankers have been given the responsibility of both primary market and secondary market. And few guidelines have been introduced in this SME exchange, so the listing was very easy. But the responsibility that has been put on the merchant banker was enormous. And see, as far as stock exchange is concerned, when I talk about equity, I always tell the promoters that equity is the cheapest source, or I can say equity is the safest source of raising funds in the hands of the promoters and riskiest source of giving funds from the investors' hand. So it's a very risky instrument, but at the same time, it can create a huge wealth or it can erode the wealth also. And both the things happens very fast. And that's why we, whenever good advisors are there or good consultants are there, they always advise the investors where to invest. But you can't predict the future. So many of the times advisors say that you should invest in basket of stocks because you are not sure or you can't predict the outcome in another 5 to 7 years. For example, 10 years back, retail outlets or shopping malls, people were investing in those companies and they were saying that these are the companies, or even windmill companies like Suzlon or real estate companies like Unitech. People were seeing huge wealth getting created there. But today they are trading at 1/10 of the price. So today the world is changing so fast that you can't predict the outcome in the future. So that's why advisor keeps on saying that you need to move fast, you need to invest in basket of stocks. So that is the thing. But as far as SME platform is concerned, BSE SME platform is concerned, and I will keep on talking about BSE SME platform, and I will keep on emphasis on BSE SME platform. The reason being today in India, only BSE SME platform is active. Though NSE is there, but we have got 95% of the market share, and we are doing a lot of hand holding for the SME companies, for the merchant bankers, for the market makers, etc. So we are working hard. We are trying to see that all the SME companies which are coming on the BSE SME platform should create wealth for all their stakeholders and can also give credibility to BSE SME platform. Because in the equity platform, the credibility erodes very fast. So we have to see that both the promoters, the investors, the merchant bankers, and all the other stakeholders which are associated with the company should go in a very credible manner with a lot of transparency in the company and bring corporate governance into the company. So that is the main motive of launching this BSE SME platform. Now I will go by the, go to the next slide. Now all these things have been said. You must have heard about the contribution of the MSME to the Indian economy. But as far as contribution to the of these MSMEs are concerned, to the GDP is very low. It's just 8% to the GDP. Though they contribute 40% to the export, 45% of the manufacturing number, these numbers looks very interesting. But their contribution to the GDP is to the tune of 8%. But the most important part that MSME plays is generating employment. They give a huge employment to the young people in the country. And that's why it's become very important for the country. And today you are seeing 10 years back, you will not find a person from Bombay Stock Exchange coming and talking about SME. Or 10 years back, you might not have seen a bank manager coming out of the bank going to the field. So all these things 10 years back it was not happening. But now you are seeing the officials from stock exchanges, the officers from banks, etc. They are moving across the country. Mudra Bank is coming, Sidbi is there, so on and so forth. There are so many, and all these are, even if you see the banks, whether it's the public sector banks or private sector banks, all are focusing on SMEs. Because they know that existence of SME is very important for creating employment in the country and for the growth of the country, economic growth of the country. So everybody is focusing on this SME because of their role to the Indian economy. Now if you see the growth of the SME as far as finance is concerned, they don't have the money. So they depend upon internal accrual for starting. If you want to start a company, you have to depend on your own funds. Unless until if you have got collateral, then you can go give the collateral to the banks and you can raise funds. Otherwise, it is very much difficult for those GT SME schemes are there and all those things are there. But some other wrong things happen which stops the banking officials to provide funds on these schemes, that is collateral free schemes. So it becomes very difficult for the SMEs because you need funds to start a company. So normally in the initial stage, the SMEs are totally dependent upon internal accruals. So if they are rich, they are afraid, or their father or father are rich, then they can start a company. Or if their in-laws are rich, then also they can start a company. Otherwise, it's very difficult for them. And if you grow the company well and good with your in-laws' money, if you can't, you can understand the consequences. So, and the main reason for the SMEs to not get the funds, you know, the major problem in the SME is that it is run by one person. So there is no transparency in the company, and we normally say that the promoter of the company is the scriptwriter, producer, director, singer, songwriter. So everything is the promoter itself. So you are unable to access the information about the company. You have to call to the promoters. And that's also the reasons for SMEs to not progress, because they are unable to provide the information to the people who want to invest in this company, or they have to depend upon the consultant. Okay, we can understand, because in last 4 years, I have done around 450 seminars. I have met 15,000 promoters, and what I found that in most of the companies the bandwidth is very low. And the promoters don't understand. I today start writing my experience in the book. You know, I think it can become a best-selling book in India. So promoters are in their own cell. They don't understand Tier 1 cities. You may find that okay, they have access to good financial consultants, but especially in Tier 2, Tier 3 cities, where there are a lot of SMEs, they don't have access to the information. They don't understand how to run the company, and they don't know how to use the funds. Many of the companies I have found that even if there is 1 crore of profit or 2 crore of profit, they buy Porsche cars, and there is a lot of diversion of funds happening. And these things also stop the officials, banking officials, or those people who want to put funds into the company, reluctant to give funds. So these are the major problems. I think the financial literacy in our country is very low, and because of which we are not seeing the small and medium companies or micro companies growing faster. So these are the various problems that we are facing as far as SME companies is concerned. Now, why should one list a company? See, there are various guidelines, various rules, etc. But why should a promoter or an entrepreneur think of getting his company listed? What are the benefits of the listing? What is the value proposition of listing? So there are various benefits. Number one, of course, fundraising. So everywhere, wherever you go, everybody will talk about fundraising. But besides fundraising, there are various benefits. There are enormous benefits. Number one, we are seeing many companies investing a lot of money for brand building. But today, if you see which are the biggest brands, Reliance, Infosys, Wipro, TCS, Sun Pharma, Dr. Reddy, so many companies. These companies have become huge brands only because they got listed. They have created wealth for their investors, and the company was run very professionally. So, the one very big benefit of the companies is that they create visibility for themselves. Brand building exercise happens, and corporate governance comes into play, because listing says that at least 50% independent directors should be there, 50% promoter directors should be there, and there are various terms of filing results of the company. And normally what happens when the company is in unlisted space, the motto of the promoters is taxation, how to give lesser tax. In many companies what we have seen, that the top line is very healthy, but the bottom line is very bad. 100 crores turnover, 50 lakhs of profit. 200 crores of turnover, 1 crore of profit. So you can't value this company. So taxation is the main motive before listing. Once the company goes to listing, it migrates from taxation model to wealth creation model. So that's what comes into play, is that the promoters want to show more and more profit. Say for example, a company is showing 1 crore of profit. Now the stock exchange may give them the valuation from 10 to 70, 80 depending upon the sector. So I am taking 15 as the times or the multiples that a company will get as a valuation. So if the company is showing profit of 1 crore, it will get a valuation of say 15 crores. Now in case the company gets listed and they are showing a profit of 5 crores. So because of showing 5 crores, their valuation will go to 60 crores or 70 crores depending again upon the sector. And how they are achieving this? But when they were showing 1 crore of profit, they were giving tax of 30 lakhs. Today they are showing 5 crores of profit, they are giving tax of 1 crore 50 lakhs. But the valuation from 15 crores to 65 to 70 crores. So by giving 1 crore 50 lakh as tax, they are increasing their market capitalization by 50 crores or 60 crores depending upon the sector which they belong. So that is the another benefit, that you are migrating from listing model to wealth creation model, and that's the reason why the company are showing more and more profit when they get listed. If you remember in the year 98, 99, 2000, all those IT companies which got listed on the stock exchanges. So what were their main collateral? It was the intellectuals, it were the employees of the company. And how they were able to retain the employees? By giving them ESOPs. Now ESOPs have got value only when they get listed. Otherwise giving the equity to your employee doesn't make any sense because it doesn't have any value. You are not going to share the profit of your company with the employee. Many of the times, we talk about private equity and equity. But if you ask me, equity is 100% equity. Private equity, I always call it quasi-equity. The reason being that everything is being decided in advance. In case of a stock market, though you have got moral responsibility, but you are not liable to pay anything to your investors. Now, how the investors will derive the value from your company, it depends upon what profit and how your profit is going to increase. So you don't have any liability, but you have the responsibility. And because equity comes into the company, what happens? Debt equity ratio improves, the balance sheet looks more healthier. Otherwise, in most of the companies, we are seeing that these companies are dependent on debt. And they take a lot of loan from the banks, and their balance sheet are stretched. And that is also one of the reasons for these companies for having good top line and very bad bottom line. So when equity comes, because debt and equity have got good ratio, the balance sheet becomes good, the profit becomes good, and the valuations of the company becomes good. So these are all benefits that a company enjoys when it goes and gets listed on the stock exchange. We are always also talking to the promoters. Whenever we meet the promoters, many of the times what we see the fear in the mind of the promoters is that why should I give equity to my investors? Why should I part with my equity with the investor because I have formed this company? Why should I give my equity? Another fear what I see that I have to do a lot of compliance. Now both the fears are wrong. The reason being that instead of 100% honor of the company having no value, better being 60% of honor of the company having value of 500 crores to 1000 crores. At least you know what your value. Otherwise there is no reason being 100% honor of the company. And because you are diluting your equity, you are getting funds which will help you in making your company big. And that's why Nayanmurthy, Dhirubhai Ambani, all these intelligent people have got their company listed because they were knowing that on their own funds or on the funds of banks, they are not going to make this company big. I have never seen any company relying on debt funds and becoming blue chip company or large company. It's only when there is proper proportion of debt and equity that the company becomes large company or blue chip company. And of course, promoter's intention is very important. He is the driver of the company. So these are various benefits of the company. Now, as far as SME platform is concerned, it has come into existence after the guidelines of Security Exchange Board of India has come into existence. On 18th May 2010, Security Exchange Board of India come out with the guideline which says that any company having post-issue paid-up capital up to 10 crores have to compulsory get listed on the SME platform of the stock exchange. Post-issue paid-up capital between 10 to 25 crores can opt either for SME platform or for the main board of the stock exchange. And a company having post-issue paid-up capital more than 25 crores have to compulsory get listed on the main board of the stock exchange. So these are only 3 guidelines, and through these guidelines only we define SME company. We don't go as per MSME Act, because MSME Act says that the investment in plant and machinery should not be more than 10 crore rupees for SME company. For a small company is smaller, for macro company is much smaller, but it should not go beyond 10 crores. We are not going as per MSME Act. We say that any company having post-issue paid-up capital below 25 crores, irrespective of the investment in plant and machinery, will be considered as SME company, and they can get listed on the SME stock exchange. So this is the only guideline. We have introduced some features in the SME platform. Number 1, lot size. What we say that minimum investment in the IPO market as well as the secondary market should be rupees 1 lakh. So say for example, any company coming out with an IPO issue price of 50 rupees. So till you divide 1 lakh by 50, so 2000 will be the lot size. So in 2000, if somebody wants to subscribe in IPO, they have to invest minimum in 2000 shares. Even in the secondary market, if someone wants to trade, they have to trade minimum in 2000 shares. So either 2000 or multiple thereof, that is 2000, 4000, 6000, 8000, 10,000, like that. So in multiple thereof, it will be traded in the secondary market. Third thing what we have introduced is underwriting. In all these companies, there is a concept of 100% underwriting, which is not in the main board. In the case of main board, if the issue gets subscribed up to 90%, then for 10% underwriting gets revoked. But if the issue gets subscribed up to 89%, then it will get revoked. But in case of SME platform, there is 100% underwriting. So even if the issue gets subscribed by 60%, 40% have to be underwritten by the merchant banker and syndicate members. So here we have introduced the concept of 100% underwriting. It means that once the issue gets opened, it will not fail. It will get listed on the floor of the stock exchange. That is the second one. Third one, we have introduced the concept of market making. Market making, earlier we used to call in stock market jobbers. So they provide two-way quotes that I am ready to buy at say 50 rupees and ready to sell at 52 rupees. Same way we have the tendency to use English language. So we have replaced jobber word with market maker word. And now this market maker word is being introduced in the country. This is existing for quite long. And this market maker has the job to provide two-way quotes. He is ready to buy at one price, he is ready to sell at another price. The reason only being is to give liquidity in the contract, people can see it, and which will help in creating value for the company. So this market making concept we have introduced. And the market making will be done by the stockbroker of the stock exchange. The responsibility will be on the merchant banker, but the broker, because he understands how to do the market making, so he will be doing the market making on behalf of the merchant banker for the company. So as far as the company is concerned, company has to sign the mandate with the merchant banker. He is one-stop solution. He has to interact with the merchant banker to get the mandate signed, and after that it's merchant banker's responsibility to do the market making for a period of 3 years. At the same time, we have introduced another concept in this SME platform, whereby after 2 years of listing on the SME platform, if the post-issue paid-up capital of the company goes beyond 10 crores, then the company with 2/3 non-promoters approval can migrate on the main board of the stock. So you have got currently what the main board guidelines say, that you should be in existence for 5 years, and out of that 3 years, out of 5 years, you should have operating profit of minimum 15 crores. Then only you can go and get listed on the main board of the stock exchange. But here we don't have such guideline. What we say that you have to meet 3-4 guidelines. which we have put as far as Bombay Stock Exchange is concerned. We want good companies and growth-oriented companies to get listed. So we have also come out with some eligibility criteria. What we say that the company's post-issue paid-up capital should be minimum of 3 crores. The company's post-issue paid-up capital should be minimum 3 crores. Net worth should be minimum 3 crores with 2 years of distributable profit. If the company doesn't have 2 years of distributable profit, then the net worth should be minimum 5 crores. And the net tangible asset of the company should be minimum 3 crores. So these are 3 financial requirements, financial eligibility criteria for the company to fulfill it. Number 1, of course, post-issue paid-up capital of 3 crores, net worth of 3 crores with 2 years of distributable profit, or net worth of 5 crores, and 3 crores of net tangible asset. Besides that, what we say that the company will be traded only in demat form, and therefore it has to sign agreement with both the depository, that is called NSDL and CDSL. Another thing is what we have introduced is that the company should have compulsory website, okay, and so that when they come out with their financial statement and audit report, they should upload it on the website of their company as well as on the website of Bombay Stock Exchange. And the company should not have been referred to BIFR. And the fourth condition is that there should not be any winding up petition against the company which has been accepted by the board. So these are the conditions. If the company meets these conditions, the company can get listed on the SME platform of the. So it's very simple. There are many companies, millions of the companies in India which can get listed on the SME platform of the stock exchange. That's why we keep on meeting with the promoters. We are trying to convince them. There are so many fear in the minds of the promoters. Many times promoters say that, sir, we don't understand listing. We are very conservative people. We don't want to take the risk. For me, businessmen are the highest risk-taking person. So if you can do business, I think you can very easily get your company listed on the stock exchange. In all other places, as a promoter, as an entrepreneur, as a businessman, you are meeting all eligibility criteria, all financial requirements, which are all regulatory norms which are existing. You are meeting, you are paying income tax, you are paying service tax, you are paying professional tax, you are meeting the bureaucrats. You are doing all the activities in all these places. You are paying money, but by doing the same requirement to get your company listed, you don't have to do any additional requirement. You get your company listed, and here you will get money. So no additional regulatory norms are there, but by doing all this, whatever you are doing, maybe here and there little bit you have to do, but you are going to form a big company. You are ready to launch into the larger space. You are going to increase the credibility of the company. You are going to increase the visibility of the company benefits. So there are various benefits that I have already talked and that you can enjoy by getting your company listed. As far as post-listing requirement is concerned, what we say that it should be half-yearly compliance. It's not quarterly compliance as existing in the main board of the stock exchange. There is half-yearly compliance. You have to upload it on your website, the annual report, and on the website of the Bombay Stock Exchange. You require minimum 50 investors to get listed on the SME platform of the stock exchange. In the case of the main board, you require 1,000 investors to get your company listed on the main board of the stock exchange. In the case of SME platform, if you have got 50 investors, you can very easily get your company listed. Besides that, there are no additional requirements. Any exceptional things that are happening in your company that you need to report, any change in the shareholding pattern, any extraordinary general meeting for bonus, rights, dividends, if you are taking, you have to report to the stock exchange. Those are the things that you need to do. Besides that, there are no additional requirements. And after 2 years, as I have already said, that if you are going to increase your post-issue paid-up capital beyond 10 crores, then just by taking 2/3 non-promoters approval through postal ballot in the AGM, you can migrate your company to the main board of the stock exchange. Now, as far as statistics is concerned, we have, as on today, we have got 117 companies listed on the stock exchange, having 95% of market share. We have launched SME IPO index on 14 December 2012, with 100 as base. Today it is trading, quoting at somewhere 790 or 800. So it has given substantial return to the investors who have invested into the company. At the same time, it has also increased the wealth of the promoters by 7 to 8 times. Because ultimately what the guideline says that minimum 25% you have to dilute. So 75% of the shares are lying with the promoter. So if you see the wealth creation, it is happening at a big pace. And the total market capitalization, if you see 75,353 million and 853 crores have been raised by the SME company, 117 SME company. Now out of these 117 companies, already 8 companies have migrated to the main board and another 4-5 companies are in pipeline. So we are also providing the facility for these companies to migrate on the main board. And during migration, as far as regulatory provisions are concerned, the promoter, the company has to just file an information memorandum with the stock exchange with that AGM approval which they have taken from the investors, pay the fee with the stock exchange, and they can very easily migrate on the main board of the stock exchange. So these are the statistics. We have also, approached by various countries. Bangladesh officials have come, Sri Lankan officials have come, some other countries have also come, and they are asking us for help to set up SME platform in their country. We are also signed the MOU with Yes Bank and various other institutions. We are going to sign the MOU so that we can reach to the nook and corner of the country, so that we can apprise the promoters about the benefits of listing. They can come forward, get their companies listed. We are not going to stop at 170. The first year was very difficult to convince the promoter to get listed, or the merchant bankers, or various other intermediaries to bring them on the SME platform of the stock exchange. Everybody was demanding to us and the Security Exchange Board of India to relax the guidelines, otherwise they will not be in a position to come on the or bring the company on the SME platform. We have proved once again, and what the Bombay Stock Exchange has been proving, and being the stock exchange of bringing the equity culture in this country, being a stock exchange for creating wealth for all the people. What we have done is that once again we have proved that SME platform can also become successful. In 2 years we have brought almost 100 companies. The target is not to stop at 500. We want to go up to 5,000, and that's why we have come here also, so that some of the promoters who are sitting here, please come, avail the benefits of listing which we are providing, and make you large company or blue chip company. That is our motto. Fee, we are, as far as BSE listing fee is concerned, we have kept it at minimum just 50,000. As far as yearly fee is concerned, we are charging 25,000 or 0.001% of the market capitalization, whichever is lowest. So cost-wise also it's not very costly affair. But the market capitalization that is going to create, it will be huge. And I hope that if you are going to get money from the equity market, it will help you in becoming large and big corporates. As far as Bombay Stock Exchange is concerned, I can assure you that we will give you great carpet welcome whenever you come for listing on the floor of Bombay Stock Exchange SME platform. Thanks a lot.
Much appreciated, Mr. Ajay Thakur. Especially not only inspiring, but I think you put a lot of smiles on people's faces. Those who want to get rich, pretty rich, quick. Motilal Oswal and Ramdev Agarwal, both self-made personalities, have compiled a coffee book with a whole lot of quotes in them. Pretty inspiring, amusing, and I was tickled by one which says, "It's better to have a hen tomorrow than an egg today." Pretty profound and prophetic. Altina Securities have come a long way, and I'm sure Director, that's Mr. Clifton De Silva, and a lot of us who've been successful in our own way are probably inspired by Martin Luther King Jr. to quote, "Just take the first step in faith. You don't have to look at the whole staircase, just take the first step." And I'm sure when you did that years and years ago, And that's precisely with the next PowerPoint that comes in here, at 12.50 minutes. Please sit back and take in the success story that Altina Securities India Private Limited have reached and scaled great heights.
citizen cell next to Ramda. Next to
Well, some achievement. When it comes to the award ceremony, I mean, that's a league into its own. So we seriously need to respect, reflect, recognize the awardees. And we've got two categories this evening. The first one is the entrepreneurship, and the second one is for the essay contest. And I'm sure the awardees tonight might have taken a cue from what Ratan Tata had to say. Do not focus on how to spend less money. Instead, focus on how to earn more money to spend. And to do the next segment for the awardees, I shall call upon the sisters, Michelle and Natasha. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together.
We begin with the Excellence Awards. Our observation and experience over the years reveal that there are cultural factors which discourage many people from starting a business. Therefore, there is a need to develop more entrepreneurial culture, especially amongst the youth, and entrepreneurship should form a part of the curriculum at educational institutions. The stigma attached to failure should be erased. Again, the administrative requirements are often a major factor discouraging entrepreneurs. Therefore, we have instituted awards in two categories, special category and general category. The special category covers the minority communities who have built the business without outside funding. This year, we are instituting awards in the special category. The awardees are success stories as well as role models and deserve full credit for their untiring efforts in building the business and will inspire many aspiring entrepreneurs to start their ventures. Where others have doubts, they bring optimism. Where some see only risk, they see opportunity. And they have passion, self-belief, and an extraordinary drive to keep going when others would give up. The awards aim to honor, benefit, and uplift the Indian SME sector. The award celebrates excellence in entrepreneurship, serving as an inspiration to others to succeed in the world of business. The advice to entrepreneurs at startup and scale-up level is learning how to dream and make those dreams come true. Our first award goes to Mr. Anthony Gomes. I'll give you a brief introduction. Companies are built to last. However, over the last few decades, we have witnessed several groups and companies performing their last rites. Groups which were held in high esteem in the past, like the Mafatlal Group, the Modi Group, the Singhania Group, to name a few, are either non-existent or a poor shadow of their past. And all these groups were built with public funds. However, one group that has remained steadfast and has grown from strength to strength is the Fatado Group. Established in the year 1865, the group has always focused on its core competence, that is the field of music. The first store was set up in 1865, and today the group has over 350 outlets spread in several locations: Mumbai, Delhi, Bangalore, Panjim, to name a few. Conducting business by clear set values and beliefs, the group has observed high standards of ethics and transparency. Its belief in organizational renewal has allowed the group to adapt itself to the changing economic context and grow from strength to strength. The group has drawn its rich heritage and entrepreneurial changes through transparency and without organizational disruption. The family-managed group successfully transitioned to a professionally managed corporate house. Each successive generation has not only strengthened the existing business but has also developed new ones. The group has scaled each pinnacle consistently through its decisive and visionary response to changing times. Its primary efforts, steadfast commitments to ethical business practices, and its pursuit of new areas to extend its business acumen have brought unprecedented success. But there is no stopping the group. The journey is still on in search of scaling newer heights and greener pastures beyond the horizon. From print music to digital equipment, having a complete spectrum of musical instruments in Western and Indian categories, the group has evolved into a one-shop destination for the music-oriented. The Furtados have emerged as a household name, and the name is familiar to almost all musicians across the country. We welcome Mr. Anthony Gomes to come and take his award.
Would you like to say a few words?
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much, Krishnan, and to Altina Securities for acknowledging the Furtados Group. It's a privilege to be here today in the presence of so many of you and to be acknowledged for our 150th year of existence, which is this year. We were touting numbers a little while ago. The BSC is older than the Indian Congress Party. I'm happy to say we're older than the BSC. I'm very grateful for the fact that longevity and perseverance is being acknowledged today. It is not an easy task being successful in any sphere, but particularly in business, because we are the biggest risk takers, and we can never say whether the risks we take will bear fruit or not. One of the most successful of risk takers ever was once asked, how do you know which risk is the right one to take? And he said, I never knew. I just kept jumping, some clicked, some didn't. And so when we're able to clock up 150 years of success, there must be some secrets that have been proven successful. And I must acknowledge that one that has stood us in very good stead is that of customer service. That which today has even greater relevance in an increasingly competitive world, which is often influenced more by price than by the overall customer experience. And I think our group has inherited and proudly champions the cause of customer service in an industry that is still rather small in our country, but has great potential to grow. So I thank you very much for acknowledging us, and I wish you well. Thank you.
Next is Joseph D'Souza. Alf Engineering is an auto ancillary company established in 1980 in Mumbai and is counted amongst the renowned manufacturer and supplier of original equipment in India. Currently, the manufacture and supply of chassis frames, suspension assemblies, and hydrocount components for SUVs, MUVs, LCVs, engineered with utmost precision, using the finest quality material and cutting-edge technology in complete compliance with the set industry standards, and the company, in its quest for accelerated growth, is seeking new opportunities in the heavier segment. ALF has expanded rapidly in recent years. ALF now operates 9 plants across India and is in the process of building the 10th at Zahirabad. Joseph D'Souza, the founder of the company, credited with a wealth of experience, is a visionary in the automotive component industry. He is widely known for his perfectionist characteristics as well as his much technological advancement within the manufacturing process. His business expertise and confidence has brought him much success working from the bottom to the top. Mr. Joseph is a hardcore engineer with a continuous vision for innovation. The company's state-of-the-art infrastructural setup is of the reason behind the success of the organization. With assistance of its high-end infrastructure, the company has been able to meet deadlines of the production process as well as deliveries at ease. Managed under the visionary guidance of Joseph D'Souza, the company has been able to progress towards a ladder of success in the industry. ALF has a unique culture, and the entire teams are united and share one vision of excellence, innovation, enterprise, creativity, and high values. The company has a deep-rooted belief of soaring above competition to a single-minded dedication towards the client and with a motto, marching ahead with perfection. We salute Joseph D'Souza for building the business and scaling it further to new heights without outside funding. Would you like to say a few words?
I believe, however successful you are, recognition is something that really motivates you and helps you to raise that bar even higher, because there is no limit to where you can raise that bar. So I thank Altina and thank you, Victor, for giving me this recognition. Thanks a lot.
We now move to our next winner, Mr. Albert D'Souza. The Indian economy is poised for explosive growth in the years ahead. India needs to raise the saving rate, investment rate, and also needs to see efficiency in the use of capital to maintain that high level to achieve the expected growth. For all this, we also need critical manpower. That is where skill development programs come. More and more jobs require formal training qualifications, either because of legislative requirements or to meet the requirements of specific employers. Without doubt, training provides increased employment opportunities. Today, even entry-level roles in many industries require base-level qualifications. Employability of the growing young demography is an important factor in the economic development of any country, and the crisis of the skill development has to be turned into an opportunity for growth. Government can broadly set a policy framework for skill development, while the industry could improve the skills. Blending skill development with the education system is what is required. Adel Education Trust decided to establish St. John College of Engineering and Technology at Palghar so as to provide an opportunity to the semi-urban and rural route of Thane district in Maharashtra to develop and create a better tomorrow. The institute is now emerging as one of the most sought-after technical colleges in the semi-urban areas from Vasai to Vapi. Choosing engineering as a profession allows students to have exposure to various technical subjects and skill sets. Students will be able to develop skills that are transferable to most industries such as problem solving, decision making, innovation, project management, team working, and of course communication. The value-based education system will provide students the ability to attain high standards of professional excellence. SGCET offers a four-year degree course in civil engineering, computer engineering, electronics and telecommunications engineering, information technology, mechanical engineering, and Master of Management Studies. Mr. Albert D'Souza is also the Chairman and Managing Director of Britannia Offset Private Limited, a highly successful printing press which caters to several multinationals, especially in the pharmaceutical sector. He is also Chairman of Model Cooperative Bank Limited and serves as an executive member on several institutions. Please put your hands together to welcome Mr. Albert D'Souza to receive his award.
I'm really thankful and touched to Clifton De Silva's gesture of choosing me for this award. In fact, I've heard about Clifton and his activities of recognizing the young students through the contest which he is conducting every year. I was not aware that he is also awarding the entrepreneurs. So thank you very much for doing the recognizing the entrepreneurship in this part of the country. Yeah, my main role has been, I've been involved in many activities, but very close to me is my Palgar project. People say entrepreneurship, MSME, start as the beginner. But I always felt to start some small business, you require the basic technical skill especially. For this, I had gone to all the great academicians and I said, let me start some skill development program at the rural area. I have come from Bangalore, very close to Manipal, 3 kilometers away. And when Manipal was founded, I was in the second standard. So, big newspaper ads in Kannada paper, and I asked my mother, kindly take me to this particular campus, such a full page advertisement and publicity. I would like to go and see. Then somehow my mother could not take. My grandfather, who was the headmaster in the village school, took me to this campus, and that memory was always there in me, right from the childhood days, from the second standard. So, as I came to Mumbai, started my printing press through the printing technology from JJ College of Arts. I was always mixing with the youngsters. That was one of the liking I always had. Youngsters, with the young students, budding youngsters. I used to see them not coming to growing to the fullest to their capacity in their mid-age or as they grow. And the core reason was their education level at the 18 to 23 age group, they were not connected to the right technical, in-depth, dimensional knowledge. This was the core finding. So I said, every youngster should be kept engaged between the age of 16 to 23 to stay connected with higher study. That was my first thought and one of the dream. As many children, they should be kept engaged and connected with the higher study and not to disconnect them from the higher study. This was my first one of the object or one of my wish. Second, during this age, give them the technical competence and if possible some kind of a management input so that when they get into the industry, when they begin as a beginner at the entry point, they go with the knowledge which is required at the entry level. Subsequently, they will have a fast growth career and they grow to the fullest career-wise or whatever the growth-wise to the fullest. So with this, I started my Palgar, a farmhouse of mine, which I used to go from 1994, technical campus on the model of Manipal. Today we have an engineering college with all the 5 branches. Most of my friends over here, they have come, they have given the lectures, they have been chief guests, including Joseph, Walter, Sequeira here. A diploma program in the engineering, a pharmacy college, a D-Pharm diploma pharmacy college, a management college, and a humanities sciences college including hospitality. So today we have around 4,000 students graduating in the rural area at Palgar. What we give them is the skill and the competency in them to live to the fullest. This is what we have been doing, and most of my friends from Mumbai have come to my project, helping me in a different way, at least give me a support and say you are in the right direction and we are there with you, and also given me advice, given the lectures, given all kind of support. So I welcome all of you to come to Palgar, see our campus, and also don't remain only in Mumbai, because Palgar has become a district and this is only 50 kilometers from Mumbai, from Dahisar Cheknagar, excellent highway. On the other side, Gujarat border, this side is Mumbai border. So this 60 kilometer stretch from Dahisar to right up to Gujarat, and train connectivity is there. Churchgate trains will be going to Dahanu. Trains have started already, frequency will be increased. Lush green area, lots of water, and agricultural area. I think you all should come, pay a visit, come for an investment. I think as Here the share and other investment is going on. I feel investment in the land also is one of the best investment. All will agree with me here. Of course, with a clear title and with a clear boundary so that land belongs to you and you protect the land. You should have some time to protect the land. Come to that area, come to my campus, and I'm happy that you have welcomed me here and recognized. Thank you one and all.
Mr. Anthony Gomes, absolutely I would agree with you when you talked about customer services and especially with people skills. And I know where you're coming from because having done a stint of 20 years as the airport services manager for Emirates Airline in Saudi Arabia, one of the reasons that we are hugely successful in the airline industry is precisely that, the customer services and of course linking out to people's skills. We had Mr. Joseph D'Souza. I really admire the way when you said that any recognition, and I think the greatest element on the planet and emotion is appreciation. Would you agree with me? And precisely the reason why you said, once that is done, you raise the bar and people motivate you. So that was spot on, great. And of course we had the gentleman here, Mr. Alfred. I like the way you talked about Palgar and skill development. I was at a seminar last week and we had this at the Hilton. We had the Minister of Education who particularly and categorically mentioned about the skill development in the entire Maharashtra. He spelled it out and we were amazed at the development. So all three awardees, ladies and gentlemen, please make some noise for our three awardees. That was great, the whole night, yeah. And of course, you just can't forget the next category, which is the essay winners, the essay contest. And I think all the four winners believed in themselves. Do not create, don't wait for an opportunity, create it. And they followed this, and I'm going to read this out. We've got Radhika Agarwal. Radhika has done graduation and post-graduation in statistics, former gold medalist from Delhi University, and later from the IIT Kanpur. Joined the corporate world as a research professional, having last worked with media giants like Star India and HBO in Mumbai. She has a passion for writing. Can we have Radhika Agarwal? And to do the honors, we have Mrs. Pearl De Silva. Congratulations, Radhika. Alright, the second winner, he isn't here. He's based in Pune, Danish Zahur. He hails from Srinagar, Jammu and Kashmir and is a Bachelor of Business Administration, University of Kanpur, and currently pursuing an MBA in Telecom Management. That's his final year from Symbiosis International University, Pune. We will have someone to deliver his gift and the prize. The third one is Karina D'Souza. Karina is a 12th standard student at Bergen Count Technical High School in New Jersey and is currently majoring in pre-engineering and plans to pursue biomedical engineering and subsequently take up entrepreneurship. Regrettably, she's not here. It takes a lot of money, time and effort to fly all the way from New Jersey into India. But she's going to hang on, she's going to get her prize. Last is Natasha. She graduated from Mumbai with specialization in advertising and marketing and has to her credit national and international work in different advertising agencies and British-based MNC. Was a cabin crew with Etihad Airways from 2004 to 2006 and currently resides at Qatar. Her dad's here. I'd like to recognize her dad who's going to pick up the prize. Please come forward and we shall have the honors. Yeah. Wonderful people, can we have a warm round of applause for all our four winners? we've got our chief guest, an illustrious person. I've listened to him, I've heard him at one of the DP sessions. You had about 35 minutes, and I remember you had everyone spellbound. And that was a night of reckoning, a night of enlightenment. And you educated us in that particular instance when you spoke about DP and all our rights as per the Article 19 of the Constitution. So thank you so much. To these honors and to introduce him to us, we've got a gentleman, and that's Mr. Okay, we've got Alfred Arabham. He is the founder of Kavasji Bhairavji Catering Services. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Mr. Alfred Arabham.
This is what happens when you're in front of stallmans, right? Oh, okay, so thank you. I have the pleasure and honor of introducing our chief guest today, Dr. Chandrasekhar Prabhu. And I've got 3 pages. He's an architect, professor, editor, painter, artist, TV anchor, educationist, administrator, housing, urban development, management expert, who has held public and corporate positions of repute. Dr. Prabhu graduated from Bombay University in architecture. His pursuit of knowledge and excellence took him to universities in the UK and the USA. Dr. Prabhu has since been invited for lectures on housing and urban issues by universities all over the world. He is a fellow of the Indian Institute of Architects and Indian Institute of Interior Designers. Dr. Prabhu was the youngest member elected to the State Legislative Assembly and clearly the most honest person we would have ever known in history. Dr. Prabhu has been the chairman of Santa Cruz Electronic Export Processing Zone, SEEPS. It was here that the software revolution was conceived and successfully implemented, and to date the only SEZ that is making profits. Dr. Prabhu has served on the authority of the Mumbai Metropolitan Regional Development Authority, MMRD as we know, and has been responsible for several studies on urban development. MMRDA is the Special Planning Authority for Metropolitan Development in the Mumbai region, and Dr. Prabhu has been responsible for major inputs to the MMRDA on issues pertaining to industrial, commercial and all mega projects, including planning, architectural inputs and advice regarding execution of the projects. While serving on the authority of the MMRDA, Dr. Prabhu's work involved interacting with international investors and facilitating investment-related projects. Dr. Prabhu has been the president of the Maharashtra Housing and Area Development Authority, MADA. MADA has been special planning authority in different parts of the state of Maharashtra and comprises of different regional boards engaged in regional development, town planning, city and infrastructure planning, leading to economic development of that area. MADA is the apex authority which controls all state level boards, and Dr. Prabhu headed the state level authority. In this capacity, he dealt with all issues of housing and urban development, including transportation, waste management, economic development, etc. Dr. Prabhu has been the chairman of Drugs and Pharmaceuticals Committee of Government of Maharashtra. He has been the chairman advisory committee, Department of Housing, Government of Maharashtra, advising the government on housing and urban development issues. One of Dr. Prabhu's responsibilities was to outline the state housing policy and interact with the urban government regarding issues pertaining to the national housing policy. He has submitted to the state government a detailed vision document which is exhaustive and in 12 volumes. Dr. Prabhu has been the advisor to the Chief Minister of Maharashtra, several of them actually. And he has been a member of the Slum Rehabilitation Authority, SRA, as we all know it. Dr. Prabhu has been the chairman of the Heritage Committee of the Indian Institute of Architects. He was selected to be the head of the International Group for Documentation of Best Heritage Practices in the SAARC region. And he held the position of Secretary General of the SAARC. The position required him to visit all the 7 countries which are members of the SAARC and oversee the documentation of heritage practices. Before that, he was also OSD to the Prime Minister of India, Mr. Rajiv Gandhi. Shri Prabhu has worked on the independent monitoring panel for World Bank projects such as Mumbai Urban Transport Project and other projects. The independent monitoring panel has been appointed with a view to interact with the World Bank and other international funding organizations, as well as the agencies of the state level and the central level which were dealing with these funding organizations. Dr. Prabhu has worked as the CEO of Shogun Multiplex Limited, a company formulated in collaboration with international funding organizations for executing mega projects in the spheres of entertainment, infrastructure, building multiplexes, and creating entertainment cities, most of which we today take for granted. The major funding for the enterprise was from investing agencies in the US, and the collaboration efforts were the Paramount and the Universal Studios. Dr. Prabhu has had a long experience in the field of education. He was the chairman of the advisory committee to the Pravara Group and was responsible for the training of the first proposal for a private university covering 1 lakh students. In his 5-year tenure as the head of the organization, Dr. Prabhu streamlined the processes in colleges and schools run by the group, including institutions imparting graduate, postgraduate education in management, medicine, physiotherapy, various faculties in engineering, pharmacy, economics, sociology, etc. Pravara Education imparts it to 1 lakh students. Dr. Prabhu is a trustee of the oldest education trust set up by the Parsi community, I think the only non-Parsi in that group, called the Bharda Mazban Education Trust, which runs a school, junior college, catering to more than 2,500 students in the heart of South Mumbai. Dr. Prabhu conceived and presented the concept and vision of the world's first green city, which is likely to come up on 1,700 square kilometers at Haldia in the state of West Bengal. Dr. Prabhu till today edits the Economic Digest. He has been the editor of the Journal of the Indian Institute of Architects. Presently, for the youngsters here, Dr. Prabhu mentors PhD students and is the chief advisor to the Maharashtra Economic Development Council. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. Dr. Chandrasekhar Prabhu.
Thank you, Alfred, for the nice words said. Sometimes one wonders how long it has been since one's journey started. And life is a journey, and you keep on doing things without even bothering to look back and find out how they have been, whether they have been beneficial or not. You carry on your shoulder tremendous amount of responsibility. And while carrying the responsibility, you always ask yourself, have I been fair to everybody? Have I done the right thing? Have I held in high esteem the quality which unfortunately lacks in our society today, which is honesty and integrity? And then one finds oneself a bit lonely in this sphere where everyone wants to be successful, wants to make money, without even bothering how it is being made, and without even thinking about whether it does help everyone or it hurts everyone. I have always followed a path of ethics. When I was in MADA, I had the dubious distinction of suspending 7 IAS officers and dismissing 187 engineers. I wasn't very popular. When I started the SEEPS zone, it had a turnover of 35 crores. 11 years down the line, when I left it, it had 3,987 crore turnover. Believe me, none of the credit for this increase goes to me. It goes to those who ran the industry with within SEEP zone. I only did not become a hindrance to their activity, which is what ails our system. We have people at the helm who want to take credit for things never done by them and want to be hindrance to every activity. Our society, unfortunately, is full of people who only praise success, and it is success which is everything. The road to success is sometimes forgotten all the time. I believe that means are as much important as the ends, because the ends will produce a whole lot of 5 lakh crore turnover people, 10 lakh crore turnover people, but it's not necessary that most of them have followed the correct means. I always believed that means takes you to the right ends, and it doesn't matter whether the ends are profitable or otherwise, as long as you believe in yourself that the means are correct. I'm happy that you are encouraging people to write essays, because that has really become a distinct, an extinct art with people. I have yet to see very many young students wanting to write essays. Last 12 years I'm editing the Economic Digest, which is where we churn out hardcore economic research articles every month. And we invite people to write. And for choosing 7 or 8 research articles every month, I have to read at least 300 odd articles. And most of the time when you read those articles, it's not very difficult, because most of them go to where they are destined to go normally, that is the waste paper basket. A few of them need a little bit more attention, and maybe 1 or 2 deserve a bit of extra attention. One has found that with this information technology that is available to people, and more information coming in, stealing of ideas and plagiarism is rampant. So much so that at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, where I studied first and I go to deliver lectures, they have developed an exclusive software wherein you would be amazed that if any article is sent through the software, in about a minute's time you come to know all the references borrowed from earlier articles and various things. And if you make people go through this software, sometimes you wouldn't land up choosing articles, because there used to be a time when ideas used to be conceived, nurtured and brought out. It came from the mind. Now it is mostly cutting pasting, and hence original thought, original thinking, original views is absolutely important. When we guide students for their PhD theses, we ask them for original hypothesis. Sometimes it takes a good 60 to 70 days of discussions to even come out with a hypothesis which is original. Forget going in for original thoughts. And that's why our country doesn't find itself amongst the patents that other countries find. China has its path very clearly defined. You give them a product, they will reproduce it even better than what the other guy has done. We also have been treading some kind of paths wherein some of us open sweatshops and cater to our masters across the seas and oceans. We make good money out of doing it, but do not get the kind of respect that we need. I'm happy that Indian software agencies are making huge amount of profits, but I would be more happy if we came out with more patents than the ones which come with people abroad. So what is required is original thought processes, original thinking, and creative attitude of people. And that is what requires us to train our people. Upgrading of skills, of course, is a great job, and the country needs skills. You don't find simple plumbers and carpenters, you don't find them. And those who have the bit of skills go abroad. So the country is landed with a situation that you have a skillless country and jobless growth. We always claim to be growing at a great pace. We have kept China behind. But how many jobs we create as a result of this growth? 7%, 8%. China is 6.5. America is 2. Germany is 1. Japan is -0.5. And we are 7. Oh, great. But how many jobs have you created for your millions of people? So it's very important that we nurture the concept of entrepreneurship, take people, start them, think differently, bring in the concept of innovation in the minds of people, and work towards creating a culture which nurtures honesty and integrity. Everyone bows down and kneels down before success, but there are very few who respect integrity and honesty. Those, they say, are old-time qualities which don't remain anymore. How does it matter as long as you have the lollies in your pocket? So making money is important because you need it to survive, need it for yourself. But how you make it is also important. I wish many of us start thinking differently and bow down before persons who make money the right way rather than making money and piling it on and on and on. I would respect a person making money in the correct way, even if he is not in layman's terms very successful, because there is no end to more and more greed, and the difference between the need and greed is something which one needs to understand. In these days of economic growth and race to outwit each other in numbers, I may look a bit outdated, but then I have always believed that if you have values, then you have laid a proper foundation, and once there is foundation, the numbers will always come. If you go behind numbers and then think of integrity, then the reverse engineering never happens. So some of us need to unlearn what we have learned over the years to respect only that which makes money. Some of us need to once again start afresh and learn to respect other values which are important. Hello.
Yeah, it can be heard.
So there are other values which I think we need to look for. I have never bothered in my life what the bottom line is going to be, because I always knew that if I'm on the correct path, I'm doing it with the right integrity of purpose and honesty, the bottom line will always be there. So it's a chicken and egg situation. We need to apply ourselves afresh. And I think we would then be a different country, a country which the world looked forward to for values. Unfortunately, some of us are not really respecting our values which we cherished over a period of years. So, when we go further, look forward towards growing, towards success, we also need to look at the path which takes us towards that success. If we do that, if we inculcate this in the future generation, if the younger people start thinking about integrity, then I think India would never lose out to anything, and success would always be with us. With this, I thank you very much for having me here. Thank you.
Much appreciated, Dr. Chandrasekhar Prabhu. One of the things that I really admire is when you said about values and you linked it directly with numbers will come. To quote you, I thought that was practical, praiseworthy and pragmatic. We've got the next segment. In recognition of your presence, Dr. Chandrasekhar, we'll have Natasha, would you do the honors, please? Yes. And present a bouquet of flowers to the chief guest. One or two people really have a round of applause, please. Thank you. Yeah, that's for the shutterbugs.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
I have to, there is another function which I had committed earlier. When Alfred called me for this, I couldn't say no, but they are waiting to take me.
Yes, thank you so much for your gracious presence, Dr. Prabhu. Yeah. Right, I'm sure a lot of people have heard. Yes, sure.
Journalist, I know Prabhu for so many years. He could have become the chief minister of Maharashtra during Rajiv Gandhi's time. He chose not to take the ethical part. So I know him for 25 years. I think he's a man who will walk the talk.
I went to his office.
Thank you and good evening, Dr. Prabhu. Yes, yeah. We've got, yeah, I'm sure a lot of people in this room must have heard about the red herring